honestly, I think it was really fun to like rediscover those bands again. And speaking of rediscovery,
yeah,
one of the coolest features, at least for some people, it's a really cool feature. I know other people don't really like it, but one of the coolest features of the Nintendo Switch is its virtual console. It's virtual console games, which a lot of people have problems with because they're basically just emulators.
I mean, it is.
Yeah. So a lot of the things that people liked about the original versions aren't, translated 100% correctly, but like it gives a lot of other people unique opportunities to play games that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to because you don't have an NES / $200 to buy a cartridge of Earthbound.
You don't have, $17,000 to buy a mint condition of Earthbound for some piece of shit on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, $17,000. I think that's a fair price. Fuck you, buddy.
Yeah. So Earthbound is a game that we're both at least a little bit familiar with. Well, I mean, you're very familiar with now.
If you played Smash, you know Ness.
Yeah, and now I was just going to say, I think him and, like, the Fire Emblem characters, because those games weren't really super popular in the U.S. or even released in the U.S. At the time that Smash, like, the original Smash with Ness and then Melee with, Marth and Roy. It did wonders for those characters, and it kind of put Ness on the map for me, and then Lucas came out in Brawl, and he, I think, was, Mother 3?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But, and then, people started asking Nintendo as NES got more popular and Earthbound became more of a household gamer name. People have been asking Nintendo for a very long time to either make a new Earthbound game or, like, port Earthbound to, like, the Wii or the Wii U or now the Switch. And they finally did it. And they made the announcement at one of the E3s this past couple of years. And it was kind of a cool thing to see that Earthbound and Earthbound 3, I think, were being ported. And Earthbound 2, which had never been released in the U.S. before. I might be wrong about that.
Yeah, Earthbound is Mother 2.
Mother 2, that's right.
And then there's Mother 1, which is just Earthbound Beginnings. And then Mother 3, I think, still has never officially been released over here.
Interesting.
And it's only on Game Boy.
Yeah.
But I was looking up gameplay, and it looks just like Earthbound, so.
Yeah, I mean, the NES graphics translate very well to the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you started playing Earthbound at least 7 weeks ago, because that was when we filmed and recorded the first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And you dropped it at the very end.
It was a couple weeks before that. So
Yeah.
maybe like 3 months ago.
So now you're done.
Yes, I just finished it last night.
Okay.
Surprisingly, my playtime is only 24 hours.
That's it?
Yeah. Which is, I was expecting a lot more, because it's a fucking decent, hefty game.
Yeah, I mean, but considering the technical capabilities of the NES at the time, it kind of makes sense that they couldn't fit as much onto, or was that the SNES?
SNES.
Yeah, okay, the SNES might be different, but what are your initial thoughts? What are your, like, surface level,
I really liked it.
Yeah?
Because, I saw the nerd video.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about it like 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
And then, he goes in depth about everything that happens. And it's like, spoiler warning for this game. And I was like, I'm never going to play this game.
Me too.
I'll watch it. And then, so playing it, like, not much was a surprise to me. Like, I already knew pretty much everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's a very, very well-written game.
Mm.
It's a game where you want to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Because chances are they're going to say something either funny or helpful.
Well, and it's an RPG too. And RPGs, it's kind of one of the main features is getting information from townspeople and NPCs and folks in the world that kind of help you progress. So, a lot of people begrudgingly in RPGs, they're like, okay, so who do I have to talk to? What do I do now? Syndrome, And I have a tendency to do that in Pokemon anyway, just because you never knew who's going to give you an item or whatever. But I guess in Earthbound, is it like rewarded other than just getting like really witty dialogue?
That's pretty much it. They don't really give you anything. It's just there was there's a house.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite things. As a very new Beatles fan, but there was a house and it was like, do you remember like what that Beatles song goes? And it's like ... Today, and the answers are yes and no. And so I hit yes, thinking like, oh, it's you're talking about yesterday. So I hit yes, thinking like it's gonna make me type it in. And he was like, oh, that was it, thank you. And I was like, excuse me. So I did it again. I hit no, and the guy was like, Notre Dame? I don't remember that song. And then it hit me. I was like, oh shit, yes are the first 3 letters of yesterday. So that like completed the riddle. I was like, that's super smart.
Yeah, that's really funny. How about the gameplay?
It was okay, I'm not gonna lie, I cheated hardcore because the Switch thing, you can like hit the triggers to like rewind time and the use save states, which I did a lot, which might be controversial, but I don't give a shit. Like Mike Matei, I remember like when that shit first came out, he tweeted something like, if you used that rewind feature to beat a game, you by no stretch of the imagination beat that game. And it's like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like, nah, the only thing I did was save a couple hours of my life. Like, okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to die. I have to go back and redo. All that's preventing me from doing is just repeating all this shit that I have to redo if I die.
So he said, like, it doesn't count, basically, like, if you use save states.
Yeah.
Which, like, I get, like, him and James, you know, I don't know if Mike's a part of Cinemassacre anymore, but
not really, but he helps sometimes. But you know, I get it because it's like these guys grew up with no save states.
Right.
You have to beat the game fair and square.
These hard ass games.
But even in the nerd video, he was like, if you die, you have to like go to the hotel, like revive everyone. It could take a half hour.
Yeah.
That's all I did was save me that half hour of hassle.
Right, which is a common complaint in that video, is that like this game could be good if blank, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that take too long. And if I keep dying, all these bullshit enemies who do like 300 damage in one hit, then it's just like you have to just redo all that shit. And I don't feel like redoing shit, so I'm just going to cheat my way through it.
Well, and
I still beat the boss battles, bro. I still beat them.
I could understand the argument of like, oh, part of the satisfaction of beating the game is going through all of that tedious shit and like the hard stuff and grinding and everything like that. And to a point, I understand it. But there's to quote, you know, another Donkey video, he used a quote from Reggie Fils-Aimé from, former president of Nintendo of America. And he used a quote from him where Reggie was like, if it's not fun, why bother? And like, it's just a really good mantra for like life in general, but also like specifically video games. Like if every second of the game doesn't count towards something that makes you feel happy to play it, then like, why are you doing it? So like, you know, a lot of these RPGs that require grinding and stuff like that, it's like for some people, it's cool because that happiness that you find only happens after the grinding and after seeing all that hard work come to fruition. But at the same time, if you're not a person that enjoys grinding in games and monotonous button mashing and stuff, basically like brain dead mode, then you're not going to enjoy the game.
Yeah, you know, it's like, it's not like I can't do it. Like I've beaten Link to the Past.
Yeah.
On like your actual physical cartridge.
Yeah.
So I didn't use save states in that or anything. And like that last Ganon fight, pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I still made it through.
And it's not like you can't still do that on the Switch. Right. Like it's not like, you know, you can only use save states. It's like, no, I mean, they're there as a resource to use them if you want. So like your argument doesn't make any sense.
And it's like a game where like especially towards the end, like once you go to the final planet, you're stuck there.
Yeah.
So if you like run out of healing items or anything, you're fucked.
Yeah. So
it's like, of course, I'm not going to risk not being able to finish the game at the very end just because, I didn't bring enough, cheeseburgers or something.
That's why I don't, like, I get it. I just couldn't see myself enjoying, like, Nuzlocke run-throughs for, like, Pokemon games. Because you know about Nuzlocke. But basically, you can't use a Pokemon once they faint in battle. Like, if they faint in battle, they, for all intents and purposes, are dead. And you can't use them anymore.
Like, you have to release them, I think.
Yeah. So I get wanting a challenge in Pokemon games, but at the same time, like, that's just not fun for me. And, not to say that it's not fun for other people, but that's basically the same argument being made, is like, in games that basically require you to play it as though it's a Nuzlocke challenge. It's like, is that really fun? Because, like, doesn't that discourage most people from wanting to play it if, like, you put all of this hard work in and then all of a sudden the game's like, oh, you fucked up once. Now you have to undo all of this and start from basically square one. And you're at the end of the game and it's like, fuck, man, no, fuck you. Like, I can turn this game off whenever I want and then never play it again. Like, do you really want players to feel that way? And it's such a hard question for a developer because, like, just like customer service, people are the biggest question mark in any activity ever, because it's like everyone's so different and everyone's preferences are so different. So I can't even use the argument of like, people don't like it when you make games hard. So having save states, this is a very long way of saying having save states doesn't diminish the fact that you finished a game or beat a game. It's just like you find a way to play, you find a new way to play, and
it's quicker.
Yeah.
I don't have all the time in the world
exactly
to redo all these parts over and over again.
Yeah, unlike when we were kids, or like when Mike and James were kids and this game came out. It's like you have all summer to beat this game and then brag about it to your friends. It's like, nah, man, I got a job. I got stuff to do. I got a podcast to record. I'm not weird flex, Nick, but okay. I create busy things for myself because that's how my broken brain works, is I have to be productive at all times or otherwise I feel like a piece of shit. But, that means that I don't give as much time to playing video games and stuff like that. So, like, save states sound like a good idea to me because it's like I want to get around to doing other stuff, because playing video games feels productive to a point, to a degree, because at some point I'm going to turn it into content probably, like make a video or make a podcast or whatever. But speaking of, I got a lot of games to finish. And that's going to be something to talk about at a later point.
Yeah, now I got to figure out something else to do. Also, we obviously have that first bonus episode out now when I was yelling about...
Bless you. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
Fuck.
I was yelling about not having a PS5 and the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Both of which I own now. So, yes, $1,300 in 2 days for gaming. Not happy about it, but
it happened.
Yeah, I can finally play PS5 games. But anyway, Earthbound.
Yeah,
I would recommend it.
Yeah,
I would absolutely recommend this game.
Okay,
just because, like I said, it's so well written. Just for like the writing alone, I think it's worth. Yeah, it's also just really cool game. Just run around with your 3 friends who you can name whatever. You upgrade your weapons and buy new weapons and
yeah.
If you've seen the nerd video, all those annoying things like the goddamn photo guy are very true.
Yeah.
But if you use the rewind feature, you can avoid a lot of that hassle.
So James, if you're watching,
kudos to you, man. But
yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah, and also say hi to Def Leppard and Allison Krauss for us, because they're watching too. And I'm assuming it's happening in the same room, because that's where all my favorite people live. It's just one room, one rental storage space in California, because that's where they all live, is in California.
But yeah, dude, that final boss battle is pain in the ass. You have to make Paula, or whatever you name her, keep praying to like fight Gygas, but sometimes he does these attacks that just literally just like one shots her.
Yeah,
she has like 200 HP and then poof, 0.
Yeah,
like out of nowhere, and then you're fucked because you don't have any reviving items left. So what do? You're boned.
Yeah.
So fuck you. I'm gonna rewind it until it's possible to beat this game.
Yeah.
And there goes the battery. We gotta wrap this up. Yeah,
so David recommends Earthbound. I recommend watching our videos on our channels. I'm very excited because next week I also have a video that's coming out that will be related to a podcast thing, and that will be to be announced, TBA. Stick it. Keep it here on whatever they say on IGN with the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast. I've been Nick Scarpinato.
I have been David Kabushikars.
This has been our lovely co-host Vanessa,
and that was our 2011 green Mini Cooper, whatever the hell minivan, country van.
Yeah. Follow us on social medias. Check us out on YouTube. We are going to post another bonus episode this week, so be on the lookout for that.
Next time you see me, I will have a cowboy hat.
Yeah, and you will have plenty of stories to tell from Texas.
Yes, indeed.
So enjoy, pal. Everyone else, enjoy whatever weather you are stuck with. Wash your hands, stay safe, give lots of COVID-safe hugs, and I am going to reset all of my alarms because I have to wake up tomorrow, and this is all a dream. And if I stay stuck in this dream forever, I'm going to get fired, and then I won't be able to buy $1,300
You're fired!
Okay, bye.